In this video, we will cover transferring settings and types to other projects and copying and pasting system family types. When you start a new project in Revit, you base that project on a project template. Ideally, that template will have everything you need for the project. But oftentimes, you will need to transfer settings and system family types from other projects, or even other project templates. You can do that using the Transfer Project Standards tool. Let's take a look at how this works. To begin, let's create a new project. Click the File tab, and then select New Project. We'll use the default Systems template, and then click OK. In the new project, we'll open the 1-Power View, and then on the Manage ribbon, in the Settings panel, click Transfer Project Standards. This opens the Select Items to Copy dialog. The first thing you should do is select the project you are going to copy from. When you expand the drop-down, you can see any other project that is currently open in the current Revit session, along with any project that is linked to an open project or the existing project. In this case, we have an exercise file open, and that exercise file has a linked architectural model. That's why we see both of them here. Select the exercise file, and then you can scroll through the list to see all of the items that can be copied from an open project or project template. As you can see, there are various settings and several system family types. Remember, system families are defined in Revit projects. You can't open them in the family editor and load them into other projects. And so if you have system family types created in one project, you can then transfer them to another project using the Transfer Project Standards tool. For this example, click Check None so we don't copy everything, and then select Cable Tray Types. Additionally, select Cable Tray Settings and Conduit Settings. That way we can copy those settings from the electrical settings. And then once you have everything selected, click OK. And then depending on what you are copying, you may see a Duplicate Types dialog. In this case, it states that the following types already exist in the destination project, but are different. So we can choose what we want to do. We can either overwrite them, or we can choose to only copy the new types by selecting New Only. Or you can simply cancel the operation altogether. For this example, click Overwrite. Revit will then begin the transferring process, and once it finishes, you may also see some warnings. And in this case, we have 8 warnings. Anytime a warning appears, it's good to review it and take a look at what it says. In this case, we will scroll through the various warnings, and they are all pertaining to types being renamed. For example, type Standard has been renamed to Standard 2. So let's discuss this for a minute. I'm going to click in blank space to dismiss those warnings, and then I'll switch to the Systems ribbon, and in the electrical panel I'll activate the Cable Tray tool. And with a type selected in the type selector, I'll click Edit Type, and then you can see various fittings that make up this cable tray type. And you need to remember that cable trays are system families, but the cable tray types are also comprised of several loadable families for all the bends and tees and transitions, and you can see all those here. So when you transfer a system family type, such as conduit or cable tray, it's also going to copy over those loadable families. And that's why it's renaming them. So I'll click Cancel, and then click Modify to end the command, and then let's scroll down in the project browser and expand Families, and then expand Cable Tray Fittings. And as you can see here, there are a couple or several of these families that have been renamed and appended 1 at the end of them. And you can also see that the type name has been updated as well. So that's why you get those warnings, because there are families that already exist in the project, and loadable families, that is. And so when you're transferring over the system family type, Revit is also copying over those loadable families. And so that's why it's renaming some of those when they are duplicates. Another way to copy system family types is to use the copy to clipboard and paste from clipboard tools. So when you're using the transfer project standards, we're copying all of the types. But if you want to just copy one, you can do that as well. So I'll switch back to the exercise file, and then I'll zoom in and select a conduit. And then on the contextual ribbon, I'll click Copy to Clipboard. And then I'll switch back to the New Project, and then on the Modify ribbon in the Clipboard panel, I'll click Paste from Clipboard. And once again, we get a Duplicate Types dialog. This one is slightly different. It says the following types already exist but are different. And then it states that the types from the project into which you are pasting will be used. So I'll click OK, and then I will click to place the conduit and click Finish on the contextual ribbon. And then we can always come back and delete this conduit, because once we've pasted it, it has copied over the type. So once again, you can use transfer project standards, or you can copy and paste. And when you're dealing with system family types such as cable tray and conduit, you're also going to be bringing over the loadable families as well, because that's what makes up those types.